first one, we've got to get the choke on here. See, it's very manual. And so now we've got to turn the fuel on, otherwise we won't get very far at all. Then we've got to set the throttle here, and the hand can set, we should go.
In Leicestershire, Tom Harrison is saying goodbye to a family member that's been part of his life for over 50 years.
Was rescued from a scrapyard by William Cooper, who had it renovated, and then he ran it as a travelling hardware shop around the local villages around Leicester. Well, they retired it in the late 50s, and it was just sat and taking space up. But he used to come round a village called Walton where my dad lived in the 50s, and he said to the old guy, if ever you want to get rid of that, let me know. He came one day and says, are you still interested in that truck?
After standing for a decade, it was more restoration project than truck.
I was only 7 at the time, but I helped where I could. Got my name on the side.
4 years later, the Albion began a new life as a local legend on car show and fundraising circuits.
It delivered hardware around the local villages. It would have been carrying like tin baths, wicker baskets, paraffin. We had 2 paraffin tanks. Because it's not got the paraffin tanks anymore, we use it as storage for the memorabilia stuff that goes out on the side here. The bathtubs up there, on show, washing your clothes in the good old days.
So when you go to show, what are people's reaction when they see it?
What you tend to find is you get the grandparents with the kids, and they come and say, oh, that's what we used to wash our clothes in. One of them used to wash it up and down with that, and push, and that's it, and then you'd have to wring it out on a wringer. And, you know, oh, we used to weigh everything on them scales like that, and I had a can like that, but used to get me paraffin off a truck, somewhat like this one. Thank God for grandparents, really, because obviously little kids, they wouldn't really understand it. These originally would have been access to the shelves that used to be in the middle. So you get all your stuff on there and they'd go through here and get whatever you wanted out. But we've since made a display of some of the stuff that it would have carried. You've got things like your dubbing, that was an old one. Peacock's floor polish, the medicated toilet roll, which was like tracing paper from memory. Robin starch. So next door, we sort of converted it to like a little camper. So when we're away at the weekends, we can sleep in the back. Because I used to sleep in here when I was little. I had a bed in here. And if I had any friends over, they slept in the cab. On the bench seat. Yes, had some good times. You've got your fuel tank right where you're sitting. No smoking, please. She's sort of flat out around about 30, you know, and the speedo's doing that. It's a little bit tricky around the corners, just slow down for them a bit. Used to go to Cromford Steam Rally when it was actually in Cromford. Kegworth Carnival when that was running. It was very frequent at the Heartlink rallies. Big thing with that because my dad had heart problems and he supported the Heartlink, so did a lot of charity work for them with it, went to a lot of their dues. The first dear thing to my father's heart was my mother. So because she never came out to the rallies with him for the weekend, he named her Lady Mary, so he'd always got her with him at all times.
Paul's arrived in Leicestershire with son Charlie in tow to collect Tom Harrison's Albion truck.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Son's come out for us?
Yes, he wants to stay out.
He really does want to stay out. It's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. Nice to meet you.
And there's the old van, eh? Wow. You've had it since '68?
Oh, my dad did, yeah.
Oh, right. Did Father work it then?
No. Oh, no, we just restored and showed it, that's all.
Yeah. Lovely. Be a fair day for you if you had it all that time.
68, so I was 7 when we had it.
Yeah.
So.
It's a big day for you then. Big day.
I'll try not to think about it too
No.
much.
Right, look at that, yeah.
A handful of the stuff he would have sold.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Polishes, waxes, starch.
Brilliant. History, innit?
Yeah.
To have the truck and the story with it, and then the gear that it used to sell and the stuff it used to have with it, it's like having a car with loads of paperwork, isn't it? Just the paperwork's in form of items. Lovely, isn't it? I come out with some stupid things, but I come out with some decent things as well.
And what sort of value, Tom? Where are we?
I'd like to think that it'd make 7.5, something like that.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it's worth that sort of money. Whether it'll do it or not is another thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Because we're losing our buyers, aren't we?
Yeah. Still want some bits doing to it, you know what I mean? I've
Got
not
some
been
good
able to
brakes.
do it. The brakes are okay.
It's going on that trailer in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Well, the handbrake's on all 4 anyway.
Oh, that's all right.
And I've got to show you the electrics in here, because it's got these fuses in here.
Yeah.
I knock them off, because if you don't, it runs the battery down. So you push them in.
Right.
And that sort of makes everything else work.
In his live, is it?
Well, it should work.
Oh, there you go. It did do, yeah.
Yeah. So we just knock them off when you're not using it.
Right.
There is no ignition.
No, it's on the
There's
switch
a
up
switch
here.
because it's a mag, but it's in reverse.
Right.
When it says on,
It's off.
it's off.
Okay.
All right. We tried to get the switch to work right,
Yeah.
but we couldn't.
No.
It's been like that for years.
Just that little bit there. It just feels a lovely, lovely old motor.
Goes back a long, long way because George, his original owner, used to bring it to steam rallies, and it raised a lot of money for the Heartlink Children's Charity carried on. So it's been part of our lives as well as Tom's and everybody else's.
Just hope somebody takes her on and carries on the good work. It'd be nice to think somebody would buy her a collection or something so she can retire properly.
She's had a life, hasn't she?
She has had a life, yes. Still a bit left in there yet.
I might just whack another one on because I don't want it falling off.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to double them up nice and neat so I can thread it through when it's twice as thick. But it really isn't work.
That was a receipt I found under the seat for a battery in 1955.
Ah, look at that, yeah.
With a guarantee, so
Yeah.
I'll put that in.
Is it still under?
No, I've saved some of the tax discs I found.
Yeah.
Just a little collection so
Yeah, that's
people
it.
can see it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Sound. Right, well, I'll build some air pressure up and then I'll go.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you. Good to see
All
you.
right, and you.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of telling myself it's going on a long trip, it'll be back soon. Not, but yeah. Yeah, somebody will look after it, I hope.
Gone but not forgotten. Never mind. Sorry,
I
Tom.
knew you'd see me, you kids.
The end of an era, really is the end of an era. He's been riding in it since he was a little boy. So, you know, it goes back a long, long way, as they say, for everybody. So it means a lot to him as well. Close the book on history.
Lady Mary has arrived at Pickering.
So you've got to turn your petrol on down here. Then you've got to turn the ignition on there. Off is on is off. Just to confuse the job. And then away she goes. And throttle on there. And it actually runs very, very nice. It really does. Fuel gauge, there you go. Get the boy on that job, couldn't you? You could do it going along, really, couldn't you? Up to 11 up here. Which, of course, check it going along, couldn't you? There's no different to today's gauge, really, is it? Don't know where there's bottom. Oh, look, he's left the 2 gallon in there. 2 gallons. Oh, my Lord. Well, that's going to get us to Thorntondale, isn't it? So, loft hatch there, look. Yeah. I think it's wonderful, it really is. Today's display vehicle, 1935 Albion, and is one of the only 2 known to exist. Stick that in that window, shall we? It is absolutely history. It's wonderful, it starts lovely, it feels lovely. Crash gearbox, awful, terrible. Guys my age, I can't drive the damn thing. Dreadful. Put Tom in it and I bet he hardly crunches it, but I can't drive him right now. But I love to see him and I just feel that it is history. Small audience, limited market, purely and simply because, as I just said, they're not user-friendly. My opinion, it will do 6,000 or 7,000 quid. It's worth more, but it won't do it. If we could find somebody interested, then I think they've got a bloody good motor for that money.
For more than that,
It's auction time, and next under the hammer, the vintage truck, with a complimentary array of medicated loo roll and tin bats.
lot number 128, 1935 Albion. Oh, it's just the one that I think opens up. Yeah. Oh, beauty, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Whereabouts? 8,000, 8,181, 8,200, 8,300 pound 83, 84, 84 and being sold for the first, second, third and last time, 84.
This little piece of history will soon be making his way north of the border to where it was first built in 1935.
It was very nice to bring her back to Scotland, especially back to Glasgow, just a mile or so away from Scotstoun where she was built back in the 30s, so she really has come home.
The Albion has a new resting place, nestled amongst the bygone buses at Glasgow Vintage Vehicles Trust. Proud owner Malcolm Fleming has a personal connection to the Albion story.
So I grew up near the town of Biggar in Lanarkshire in the south of Scotland, which is where the founders of Albion set up the company the 30th of December 1899. But most of the vehicles over many, many years were made here in Glasgow, including my Albion here. Albion ended up being probably one of the biggest, most successful commercial vehicle manufacturers worldwide, with Albion buses and lorries transported right around the globe. And my grandfather would take me to the vintage rally every year, talk about his interest in old vehicles. And because of that, I then got involved in helping restore vehicles in Biggar. There's also the Albion Archives based there with all the records of the company going right back to the start. It's an amazing collection of photographs, information. It's just fascinating for anyone interested in old vehicles. I then got involved in helping out with the archive and museum, and that got me interested in being a member of the club for probably over 30 years. Indeed, I'm now actually the magazine editor for the club.
With all that passion, it comes as no surprise that one day Malcolm would have an Albion of his very own.
So on auction day I was actually on holiday in Croatia, so I watched the auction live on my phone and realised that bidding had stopped below the amount I'd put in, which meant presumably that I'd been successful. So I was quite surprised to some extent. I was now the owner of a 1935 Albion. A lifetime ambition to own one, so I managed to do that, so that's been great. I bought it from Tom Harrison, and went down to see Tom because he kindly offered me lots of spares they had for the Albion, including a complete Albion engine and gearbox, which they had in his garage, getting in his way now. So I went down to Leicestershire and took off his hands, because that's what would be required to keep it going for many years in the future. I think Tom was pleased that another enthusiast with interest in Albions had got it, so yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping it in good condition and keeping it as sure as the sunrise for years to come.
In terms of creature comforts, what have we got?
Well, you've got your handy windscreen washer for our wet days, and you've got your padded seat to keep you going. But it's not got all the creature comforts of a modern vehicle, that's for certain. You've got your accelerator pedal in the centre, which is quite unusual. It's certainly a different driving experience to what perhaps you're used to. Certainly no power steering involved, so it's good for building those muscles. It's a great fun to drive. Yeah, it's great fun. This is on home turf, so it's good. Well, I intend to keep this Albion for many years to come, and hopefully to rally it, including to the annual vintage rally in Biggar. And of course, this year is the 125th year of the company since Albion was formed, so hopefully there are lots of Albions there this year. And it's great having been interested in Albion since I was a teenager. It's great to finally have one myself and to be able to take it to the rally in Biggar. I've volunteered for many years, but actually this time as an Albion owner will be great this year, so looking forward to that.